If you're in the real estate industry, or if you're interested in setting up a real estate website or web application, then maybe you've heard of the acronym called RETS. The problem is, if you're not a technologist or a web developer or programmer, you have no idea what this means. Emmanuel here, and I'm happy to help you shed some light in terms of what exactly RETS is and how you can benefit from it. So what exactly is a RETS or a RETS feed? If you've Googled it, I'm pretty sure all the search results look like you're reading through some type of programming textbook. Well, I'm not here to regurgitate that. My goal here is to help you understand in its simplest form what exactly RETS is and how it can help you. By the way, this is a top level overview of RETS. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of connecting to a RETS database or creating a string or query to pull RETS data. I want to make sure that this is clearly explained to you so that the next time someone starts throwing around some buzzwords, you are not misled. With that being said, please make sure you click that like button. You know it helps out the video, you know it helps out the channel, and thank you so much in advance. RETS, or the RETS feed, is an acronym for Real Estate Transaction Standard. Now, let's not confuse this with IDX, which is that third-party application that you use to install into your website in order to search the MLS. By the way, if you want to learn a little bit more about what IDX is, I'll drop a link in the description below for our video that we made on that. But if I can make RETS any more simpler for you to understand, RETS is essentially a database in a spreadsheet. Yes, that's absolutely right. RETS is no more than a spreadsheet with all of the properties in an MLS. Now let me break it down a little bit more with this illustration. Let's say you have a Google Sheet, and in this Google Sheet is a list of properties with different columns and rows that have information about different properties. Now let's imagine you share the sheet with one of your colleagues so they can access the data. Once they have access to that spreadsheet, they can now use the data as they please. For example, searching the spreadsheet or maybe exporting information to create a report. And in its simplest form, that's exactly what RETS is. A glorified Google Sheet that you can share with people. Still not clear? Let me show you an example. So this is a Google Sheet that I've loaded with some dummy properties. As you can see across the top, there are columns with names for different data points about a particular property. And each row signifies a property. Now let's say you wanted to search for a property. Well, it's as simple as hitting Control or Command F and looking for a property. So let's say I'm looking for a property in Los Angeles. As you can see, I'm highlighting all of the properties in Los Angeles, so I know those are the properties in Los Angeles. Now think of it just like a website. You put in a key term, you hit search, and whatever is outputted is the results of your search query. By the way, the typical RETS database has multiple data points, and for example's sake, I wanted to keep it simple. But this is actually what a real database schema from a RETS data feed looks like. And as you can see, there are multiple data points for different attributes like property ID, listing agent, county, days on market, if it has a pool, if it's a commercial property, etc., etc., etc. Now let's take it a step further. Let's say you wanted to get the median home price of a specific area. Well, on that Google Sheet, it's just simply selecting the properties that you want to average, then typing in a formula, and then you're outputted with the result. Now, if we look at this like a real-world example with a RETS database and a website, it's the exact same process. All you need to do is query all the communities in a specific area or all the properties in an area. Then you look at the median home price, write some programming script to do the math, and then you output the result. So why is RETS important to you? Well, the answer to that question is because data is power. And being able to manipulate that data will only provide you with much more value. Let's start with the basics. With the RETS data, you can essentially create any type of website or web application for searching the MLS that you want. The possibilities are endless. But wait a minute, that's just small thinking. Let's start to get the creative juices flowing. Let's say you wanted to start targeting properties from a specific year because of some type of value that they bring. Instead of you searching the MLS or Zillow or Redfin, you can create a query, and by you, I actually really mean your programmer, can create a query that can pull all that information on demand, and you can get that information real time. And if you need market reports, you can essentially pull all that information from the RETS database and create your own. The process is called data visualization. All you're simply doing is taking a series of data points, putting it into a spreadsheet, and creating a graph. You can do that with the RETS feed. That essentially means that you don't need to rely on your brokerage or a third party to be able to create your market reports. Now let's take it a step even further. Let's say you wanted to anticipate the future value of a community. Well, that's easy. All you need to do is take all the existing data points for that existing community, use some machine learning, and you'll be able to project year by year what the value of that community would potentially be. These are just some ideas, but the possibilities are endless. Once you have the data, the more creatively you think, the more powerful you will become. So how much is RETS? Well, to be honest, the price for RETS varies by MLS. The issue is some MLSs have a monopoly on their areas, so they can essentially dictate the price. It would be your responsibility to contact the MLS and find out how much a RETS feed is. However, there is another option of looking at third-party data providers that have national data and just licensing out that data for your use. Anyway, I hope this sheds some light on what exactly RETS is. And if you have any questions, please feel to reach out to me directly or maybe drop a comment below. I want to end with this. RETS is only the tip of the iceberg. Once you go down the RETS rabbit hole, and the more creatively you think, the possibilities for using that data is endless. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notifications for any new videos that we post. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video.